Welcome to another episode of the Apocalypse. You have made your choice. We are in the midst of it. That would be the apocalypse. It is too late to turn back. I know. You thought you would co-sign evil once again, and it would go the same as it always has. In your favor. This time, you have crossed the line that you cannot just step backwards, over. This time, the bill is bloody due. You will find in the future that you will pay for every single time you put your name on evil. For it has resulted in the end. That is the end for all. Not just the libtards. You fucking children. Since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide, and unfortunately, I happen to be that guide. Your humble guide, Nicholas. So good to see you a bloody gayin'. I told you the go-ahead had been given. Once Miss Good was murdered on the street by fat fuck Johnny. It appears after today that that assessment was the proper one. Do you believe yet? Do you believe you're in a Reich? Do you believe the orange demon is the antichrist? Do you believe you are in the end yet? Do you believe that you will descend into the darkest dark? If you do not believe, you should. Let's begin. Rod Stewart calling Donnie a fucking wanker. Rod's pissed about what Donnie said about the European troops. They didn't do shit. Mr. Draft Dodger Donnie critiquing what other troops have done. Of course, Donnie loves having other people fight his battles. Without you hands of Satan in the fatigues, there'd be no Reich. There'd be no Donnie. There'd be no Antichrist. There'd be none of it. You are the hand. Why, I despise you as well. What a shame. Without you, Donnie wouldn't be able to fight anybody, because Donnie doesn't fight on his own, ever. Ever. Rod Stewart calls out Draft Dodger Trump for denigrating the service of Allied combat vets and said that PM Keir Starmer must insist that Trump publicly apologize. I believe Donnie may have put a post up trying to honor the European troops today. I gotta look at it again. I didn't even include it in this. It doesn't matter. Donnie doesn't care. And he says those things because he's a Russian asset and he wants NATO gone. And he wants to annex territory and do all those things. He doesn't care what the European troops actually fucking did. He's got an agenda, and that line serves his fucking agenda. Unfortunately, it does piss off the entirety of Europe. But whatever, he's the Antichrist, right? He's a big tough guy. Mr. Five-time deferment doctor's note for bone spurs. Trump 1 week ago. It's a good thing for Mark Carney to sign a trade deal. If he can get a deal with China, he should do that. That's 1 week ago. Donnie today. If Canada makes a deal with China, it will immediately be hit with a 100% tariff against all Canadian goods and products. Here we go again. Cunts that made this fucking happen. I guess what I want to say is I can't wait till I don't have to breathe the same oxygen and be in the same plane as you people. And two, when that actually happens, one of the best parts of it will be I don't ever have to hear you cunts or your orange antichrist spout the word tariffs through his disgusting fucking burger hole. 10 years every day we've had to hear about tariffs, and the end result of it, the whole point of it, you fucking cunts I despise, is personal gain for Donnie. It does nothing for the country. In fact, it hurts everyone. Except Donnie. That's why it's so important to him. That's why it's his favorite fucking word. That's why I gotta hear it every day from a worthless, two-bit fucking con man. The maximum expression of you fucking worthless cunts out there that have your name on this. That'll be great when I never have to hear the word tariff again, man. Especially from this fat cunt who's putting every penny of it in his pocket. And that's why he's so worried about the Supreme Court telling him to fuck off. He can't pay it back. He stole it the fuck all already. Plus, that would end the future of the grift. It was tariffs before the first election. It was tariffs every goddamn day, the entirety of the 4 years. Many of you farmers killed yourself, lost your fucking farms. Then you voted for it again. The ones that lived. Also, one fat, diapered, shitty, orange cunt can pocket every penny of it. That's why I gotta hear it every day. Fucking mark-ass idiots. Gave your country away for nothing. You'll get jack shit. You'll get the fucking lake. The sad thing is, we all gotta go down with you worthless cunts. That's the fucking problem. Again, why I will hate you forever. And I sincerely mean that. And I'll take the heat from the man for saying that. Because I already know your destiny. The man already told me. So what the fuck would I pray for your dumb ass for? I already know where the fuck you going, son. No matter how tough, smart, whatever the fuck you think you fucking are. If you ain't down with Christ at this moment, you ain't shit. You just lake fodder. Because if you ain't down with him, you must be down with the other thing. And you know where the other thing's going, right? Better crack that book open again that you pretended to read all your life. Stop listening to the fucking pastor at the church telling you to sell your goddamn soul. Better see where that's gonna get you. You know, shit like this. You thought I was kidding when I said he was the Antichrist, son? You thought I was being dramatic? You thought I was a conspiracy theorist? You thought I was one of you people out there on camera? Oh no, son, you're watching the real shit here. I wouldn't be here otherwise. I get jack shit out of it. Except tired. And less money. Plenty of that. Federal agents shoot and kill a person in Minneapolis, officials say. Gee, wow, what a shock. Who could have seen it coming? Oh, that's right, they shot a woman 3 times in the fucking face the other day. I told you the go-ahead had been given, right? You think these people don't know they're on camera too? You think the Reich and these people don't want you to see this? The guy that killed the woman, murdered her in cold blood right on the street, filmed it himself. And then got $1 million from the rubes and God knows who. Because Satan and his antichrist and all you MAGA cunts going in the lake with him want the world to know that they're happy about the murder of that woman. That's why they sent the money. I would love to be a fly on the heavenly wall when the line of you MAGA cunts is before the man. And the man looks at his paper before him and he says, oh, I see you donated $40 to that fat fuck Johnny guy. Why'd you do that? Oh, I see you donated $200 to that fat fuck Johnny guy. Why'd you do that, son? Can you explain that to me, please? Never mind. You see that lake over there? Just jump the fuck in. Have a nice day. Already knew the story. I didn't need to see the footage. I didn't need to read about it. I didn't need to know nothing. Bunch of mass cunts giving the order, go out and kill people, terrorize, murder, steal, rape, whatever the fuck you feel like doing. That's the point. Subjugation. This is never about illegals. It was never since day one, son. Donnie got illegals working in his businesses right now. Let me just say what happened quickly before I read all these. The ICE cunts pushed a woman down. The guy who had a holstered sidearm with him went to help her up. The spawn of Satan didn't like that. So they started jumping him. And he was filming as well. Filming the ICE people. So they knew he got on film, them pushing a woman to the ground. They didn't want the world to see that. So they did with the same thing they did when they shot that woman 5 times when they hit her car. Let's just kill her and we'll drive off and, you know, we get out of the whole situation. And we'll just say she was a terrorist or she attacked us or something. Or she was impeding. Which is exactly what they did. So they knew he got them on camera pushing this woman to the ground like big, tough, masked cunts destined for the fucking lake. So they figured they'd go fuck with him. They ended up pushing him down. They ended up taking his sidearm from his holster. And once they were sure he was unarmed, they murdered him. That's it. That's the story. On camera, on tape, son. Indisputable. Your name's on now another public execution. I knew there would be public executions, and I told you about that. I didn't know they'd go like this. But it makes sense. You've seen 2 public executions. They tried to execute that woman they shot 5 times too, by the way. She just survived, that's all. Would have been 3. We have public executions on the street. of people that did nothing wrong, American citizens. The Reich defends it tooth and nail, slanders their name the second they take their last breath. This was so bad today. The little midget Nazi hobbit took 2 questions and walked the fuck away. Because the shit was going so horrifically bad. People frame this today. I saw a lot of comments to the effect that they can't deny this one or this one's bad. Both were bad. Both were straight up executions by masked cunts. That will burn, son. I can't describe how hot they'll burn. That's a promise. For it is written, both were straight up executions. One wasn't worse than the other. They're both the same damn thing. Miss Good and this man today. Everyone that I trust that took a look at it, that's what they say, straight up execution. After they took the gun. Guy didn't even draw the fucking gun. Of course, you have all the Second Amendment people that pretended they believed in that. What they really believe in is liberals shouldn't have guns, we should be allowed to shoot them. That's a problem when a liberal has a gun. That's what they really believe. Only they should have guns. But they cry Second Amendment, so they use the fact that he had the weapon with him as justification for killing him. Every rube in this country that's sold their children out for the Second Amendment, that preach that gospel, that would mean if you have your sidearm or rifle on you, that the Gestapo could kill you, and that's the excuse. That's the gospel you preach in, which tells me once again, as always, you people always prove this correct. You never believed a goddamn thing in your life. You're a walking zombie. You stand for nothing. You will take the mark and you will go to the lake. I already know that about you. Prove me wrong. You're the only one that would benefit proving me wrong. I don't even know your ass. There is no defending this. This is cold-blooded murder. Yep, this was the first shot of it that I saw. This is Donnie's comment immediately after it happened. It's long. I didn't even read it. This is the gunman's gun loaded with 2 additional full magazines. Oh! How many of you fat rube cunts out there are walking around with guns and mags? Donnie says that's bad. And ready to go. Donnie says that's bad. What is that all about? Oh, the same thing it's all about for everyone else with a concealed carry or carrying a sidearm. Same thing. They got clips with them. I see them all walking around. Suddenly that's wrong, rubes. I thought that was right, rubes. No matter how many children die. Now it's wrong all of a sudden. People never believe in a goddamn thing. Where are the local police? You gonna blame the cops for assaulting cities and killing people? And according to your officers have absolute immunity, so the cops can't touch them, and the guy wasn't actually attacking anyone, so the cops shouldn't even have been involved. They attacked him. I watched it. I know exactly what happened. They knew he had them on camera throwing that woman to the ground, and that's the type of shit they do all day, every day, because they straight up pussies. They don't take on no gangbangers. They get capped in the head. They don't want that. They're not real warriors. They don't want none of that action. They're run by a little Nazi hobbit who wears fucking Adolf Hitler jackets and shit. They don't want no real action. The mayor and governor called them off. Can you believe this? You know what? I'm not going to read the rest. You get the gist. Then he goes into the Minnesota stole money. No, they didn't. You just said a Reich, and Donnie's trying to subjugate the masses. And this is exactly what Donnie was looking for. Footage of liberals being shot. And that's the excuse. Donnie was the excuse. All of you in the right-wing grift machine. Since before I was born. You talk about it openly. How it's okay to shoot liberals. That's why you will burn, son. There is murder in your heart, and you preach that gospel your whole life. And now you're doing it. The man will not be pleased. And I ain't your pastor at your $3 ass church, son. MAGA church, whatever you go to. I ain't going to justify the evil within you. I'm just going to tell you where you're going. And no matter what you do to me, you're still going there. Isn't that great? Because you think I don't know that either? You don't think I know what's coming my way? I know that 10 years ago. If this is what it was. Don't matter what you do to me. Still gonna burn, son. For all goddamn eternity. I would not want to be you. No matter what you do to me. Minneapolis shooting unjustified? Keep your eye on Fed in gray jacket. He disarms man by removing gun from waistband while on ground. Walks away with gun before any shots are fired. Man on ground, no longer a threat, is shot at least 5-6 times. I've heard a lot of numbers being quoted today. 5, 6, 10, 11. I don't know how many times. Man should have been subdued, apprehended, not executed. Open and concealed carry are legal in Minnesota with permit to carry, yeah. He shouldn't have been touched at all. Shouldn't have been arrested, apprehended, nothing. He wasn't doing anything wrong. Filming and having a gun on your hip's not illegal. Right, Roops? You like walking around with guns on your hip, right? Now it's a bad thing? Because the Reich told you that? The Reich gave you the talking point? And that's all you people are, empty shells full of talking points. Don't believe in a goddamn thing. What are you going to do when Donnie comes for your guns? And I know why they want the voter registry info and all that. They want to take guns just from liberals. I know they want to try and target it, but I don't think that's going to work. Anyone who defends this is a piece of human garbage. That's Ron Filipkowski saying that, and he doesn't usually say things like that. I agree 100%. I will entertain no arguments for the devil, son. But all of you out there making those arguments for the devil, you're with your talking points that the Reich gave you, you're human garbage. You were dead before you were born. Why would I waste my time on you? And you're all God's special little creatures. Every single one of you. That would waste the world's time defending straight up execution on the street. ICE agent celebrates shooting of Minneapolis man dancing and clapping with joy. It's a picture. Yeah, they were kind of celebrating because, you know, they're of Satan and they're going to burn. And, you know, this is the type of shit they get excited about. murdering an unarmed man as some of their buddies hold the man down after they take his weapon. Adam Kinzinger. So the everyone should be armed Second Amendment crowd is using the fact that a man was armed as justification. Is this right? Right. Because you don't believe in anything, and that's how I know. That's why I say it over and over. You're empty shell zombies that have no actual beliefs except what Fox News tells you. And Fox News had to pay $750 million for defamation because that's how fucking big of fucking liars they are. Almost $1 billion. Alex got $1 billion. That's how big of a fat fucking liar he is. Adjudicated, son. So yeah, you got to decide what bullshit you're going to go with. Either we have full right to walk around with guns and sacrifice our children to those guns, or if you show up to a protest with a gun, the cops have the right to kill you. I'm not talking about drawing that weapon. You got to decide which hypocrisy, which lie, which whatever talking point you're going to run with. You got to pick one. Someday this man will be prosecuted for his crimes against his humanity. No, he won't. This is the Nazi hobbit at the podium. He didn't last long. This looks like a situation where an individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. Why? Just because he had a gun on him? So many of you rubes walk around with guns. That means you want to do maximum damage? That's what the Nazi hobbit's saying. This is what I'm talking about, using that as an excuse. All you Second Amendment people, including this cunt right here. Now it's an excuse to kill. What Ron doesn't know, Ron Filipkowski, he's the one that said someday this little Nazi hobbit thing's going to get prosecuted. No, he won't. What Ron doesn't know is this is going all the way to the end, and there will be no Nuremberg trials. There will be no miracle. That's why I can't really listen to anyone anymore, because I know more than them. And I'm not complimenting myself or bragging. That's not what I mean. It's rather depressing, actually. Because I used to like to listen to a lot of things, but I listen to people talk, and they give their opinion and the breakdown and their assessment, but they don't know what I know. They thought this was, I don't know, gonna go like the first term or something, or like politics, or the George Bush Jr. era or something. I don't know what they thought. I knew it was going to Armageddon the second he got the keys back. So how do I listen to anyone else break this down, talk about it, when they have no clue, son, no clue, as do most of you out there. I look at people every day walking around doing whatever, living their lives, and I just look at them. They have no idea, son, that a goddamn tidal wave is coming. It's a very strange feeling. And it's a depressing feeling because it makes everything pointless. But the real point is, so few just even know what they're in right now. How do you really relate to most people? Everyone. How do you relate to everyone when they just don't know? You just kind of walk around pitying everyone like they don't even know what's coming. They're going to be real surprised. It's going to be real bad. I don't know. It's not a good feeling. It's not fun. There's not anyone I can listen to anymore because they're missing an entire aspect of this, and it's the most important one. And it's something that takes years to understand. It's not something you can understand in a week, a few days, years. So Movito, they're already painting the man as some type of dangerous threat who intended to do harm to officers immediately. The man's not even cold yet. That they executed on the street. The Nuremberg trial, again, that will be at the lake. It will be a different kind of adjudication process. Not one that we're all used to. The stakes are much higher than Nuremberg. If you think a hangman's noose or a firing squad is scary, you don't know the man and the lake. That makes a firing squad and a noose look like a nice Sunday picnic. I'm not even kidding. That's what this little hobbit thing is facing. Pretty much guaranteed, unless he pulls a Saul the Apostle and you know what I mean, becomes a disciple of Christ out of nowhere and repents of his murders and all that bullshit. I got to take a little break. My apologies for taking a break this early, but you know, things happen. And I will be right back. Can you believe we're sitting here discussing the second public execution on the street by mass Gestapo agents sent by the government? I know you thought the liberals were going to do it, right? Nope, the people telling you the liberals are going to do it, we're planning on doing it to the liberals. Hitler did it to the liberals. Hey. The White House is now describing the man murdered by ICE in Minnesota today as an assassin. So Renee Nicole Good was a domestic terrorist, and this man was an assassin. This White House is full of shit. And he's talking about a comment by Stephen Miller. An assassin tried to murder federal agents, and this is your response. I hope the guy's family sues Stephen Miller. They should, and they would win. You can't just fucking say the person's an assassin 2 seconds after your Gestapo murdered them. And everyone sees it on tape. That's straight up defamation. They should sue. And they would win. And Stephen Miller's talking about Chris Murphy. ICE must leave Minneapolis. Congress should not fund this version of ICE. Congress shouldn't fund ICE. I wasn't down with the get rid of ICE when the Democrats were calling for that back in the day. I also wasn't aware of what goes on. Now I am. ICE should go away. Goodbye, no more. Never, ever. And the next person that suggests it should be put in prison after they're abolished. Along with this fucking ghoul right here, who's just as guilty of murder, again, as these guys pulling the trigger. They're just the hand. They're the idiot fucking, high school dropouts that couldn't make it in law enforcement, that have no social skills, where they got to get mail order brides and rape women and shit, that can't get a real job, that can't make money some kind of honest way instead of kidnapping and murdering people and terrorizing communities. Stephen Miller's just as responsible. He gave these people the instructions, the quotas. He wants them to be more brutal. Again, you people thought they didn't want you to see these murders? You thought they didn't want these murders to happen? Are you not paying attention? They want us all so afraid we don't film, we don't ask no questions, we don't follow them, we don't protest, we don't critique the Reich, we let them kill us, do whatever they want. That's what they're looking for. And the pock-faced anorexic cunt's going to say that later. An assassin, the fucking 3-foot ghoul. Stephen Miller calls this person who didn't even draw their fucking weapon. I don't know. If I would have had that weapon and those men approached me, I might have drew it just in case. I don't know. They killed him anyway, even though he didn't draw it. They made sure to take it from him first. They didn't want to get hurt before they executed him. Live on camera. What I'm trying to say to you people is this was the point of deploying these fucking cunts that are going to burn. This isn't an accident. This isn't a mistake. It's the instructions they were given, son. Literally. Fuck you think you're in? You're in a Reich, and I use that word on purpose because the last Reich was doing all these things and worse, and so's this one. That's what the fuck you in. So if you think they didn't want to kill people on the street, they just want to kill the right people. That's all. People that aren't in a cult that's destined for the thing called the lake of fire. Every goddamn member of the cult going in, son. Because I know they all going to take the mark. Again, not my judgment of you. I just know your future, that's all. And I do know your future. I hope you understand that. Stephen Miller called the victim an ICU nurse at the VA filming ICE a domestic terrorist who tried to assassinate federal law enforcement. Greg Bovino said he wanted to massacre law enforcement. You saw the videos. How can any Republican not call for their resignation? Look, Republicans ain't gonna. This calling out to Republicans to do the right thing. Have they done the right thing in 10 years? After the coup, Mitch and Lindsey Graham gave this tepid kind of, we're not down with that. 3 days later, they were down with that. Do you hear me, son? Fucking kidding me? Yeah, the calling to Republicans to do the right thing. We can't even get some Democrats to do the right thing. We got turncoats that they got compromat on. Or they threaten their families or something. They tried to cover it up immediately, and the Minneapolis police chief refused. Witnesses have been taken to police headquarters, and all available off-duty police have been called to work. ICE cannot be trusted to tell the truth. Congress must act now. They won't. The courts must stop this stupid foot dragging. They won't. Enough is enough. That's Fred Wellman, who's running for office, saying that. Man shot by federal agents has died, police chief says. The man shot by federal agents this morning has died. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara told the Minnesota Star Tribune. Several witnesses have already been transported to the Whipple building. ICE attempted to order local police from the scene, but O'Hara refused. O'Hara instructed his officers to preserve the scene. The BCA was en route to scene. All available officers have been called in. That's not the whole story. This is the whole story. You ready? I'm just getting something handed to me. A statement from DHS that it will investigate the fatal shooting of a 37-year-old protester by its officers rather than the FBI. So they're going to be investigating that which they already issued a summary about. It would seem like a closed book. Yeah, the people that called the guy an assassin who never drew his gun are going to investigate. Here we go again. Another murderer gets away and is defended tooth and nail by the Family Values Party. NYT Pitchbot. CBS News is reporting that the ICE agent who abducted a Minnesota preschooler suffered from internal injuries during the abduction. Yep. Yeah. Parody. To make a point. AOC. We have a responsibility to protect Americans from tyranny. DHS just shot a man in broad daylight 2 weeks after they shot a mother in the face without consequence. They need our votes to continue. We cannot give it to them. Every senator should vote no. DHS funding is being voted on in the Senate soon. They need like 10 Democrats or 8 or something. I imagine they'll get them because there has been enough turncoats to get budgets passed. And that's why those murders happened. Because of those turncoats. Literally. So I expect the next budget to pass, which is another increase to ICE, is something like $95 billion or some obscene number, because again, the point is to subjugate the entire country with a personal military force called ICE. Absolute immunity, son. That means they could shoot you in the fucking face tomorrow and walk away scot-free. I know you think that won't touch you. It will, don't worry. It will. That's who it's meant for, you, son. You didn't know? Not Hector, the illegal alien. You, dumbass. I don't expect the Senate to do the right thing. Might have they ever before in this 10 years. Bovino press conference ended abruptly. Bovino takes only 2 questions and then an aide abruptly shuts down his news conference because it was not going well. Everyone knows what this is, including the press. As he was walking away, a journalist was yelling, and it was very clear. Everyone could hear it. The videos coming out contradict what you say. Do you have a comment about that? They don't support what you're saying. Sir, do you have a comment? As the Nazi, pussy, and I wish I could call him what I really want to call him, hobbit, scampered out of the room. After his feeble attempt to be an apologist for the execution of a U.S. citizen who did nothing wrong. That's what used to be America now. Thanks to cunt rubes and cunt greedy people at the top that wanted tax cuts. What a shame. NYT pitchbot again. Preventing ICE from murdering civilians could have a chilling effect on future presidents' ability to terrify the nation with a secret police force. Indeed. A year in and he's got mass secret police executing people publicly and no one does jack fucking shit about it. Exactly what I knew would happen 10 years ago if this thing was allowed to play out. The Nazi hobbit again. Question: it doesn't seem like he pulled a weapon at any point. Does that account come from the agent? When does it come out? The situation is evolving. Those facts will come to light, but let's take a look at the gun that he never pulled. And what the midget Nazi hobbit is saying here, give us a little more time to come up with the right lie. We haven't had enough time yet, and this situation is so egregious, so nefarious, so satanic, so evil. We really need a little more time. We're a little bit back on our heels right now. Let us recover. We'll come up with the right lie. We'll send the pock-faced hag out. Because she does great in interviews, great in press conferences. She doesn't make it worse at all. She'll do much better than the midget hobbit Nazi, right? We'll see soon. But that's what he means. Give us a little more time to come up with a better lie. It's evolving. The lies are evolving. J.D. Vance blames local Minnesota police officers for the homicide committed by federal agents. Of course. Inversion. Of course. By the couch fucking pedophile. That's why he changed his name twice. Did you know that? He's a goddamn pedophile. You people really know how to pick them. You don't just pick one pedophile who was best friends with Epstein. You pick a whole crew. That's how much of the devil you are. Cunt. I don't care if you go to church on Sunday. Meaningless. Are you down with the couch fucking pedophile? That's what the man worried about. Not if your bitch ass put $20 in your worthless demonic church's collection plate. That ain't gonna save you from the lake, son. When I visited Minnesota, says the couch fucking pedophile, what the ICE agents wanted more than anything was to work with local law enforcement so that situations on the ground didn't get out of hand. The only one making them out of hand is the Gestapo and mass murdering people. The city was doing just fine before the couch fucking pedophiles, mass cunts got there. Isn't that interesting? So sad as a vice president, too. We got a low-life, goddamn pedophile who slept with children in hotel rooms. Verified, son. That's what your worthless, accursed name is on. Or is you proud of yourself? And Jeff Epstein's best friend. Is you proud of yourself? Lake fodder. I'm talking to you. The local leadership in Minnesota has so far refused to answer those requests. Yes, Reich, we know you'd love local law enforcement to be the hand of Satan with you, alongside you. We know this. That's too goddamn bad. And you can't blame anybody but yourself, you couch fucking pedophile who had to change your name and run away several times because you're a goddamn pedophile. Unbelievable, man. See what I'm talking about? I'm in an entire empty parking lot, son. One parking space away. Giant fucking truck. Can you goddamn believe it? This is why I despise humanity. Can you believe it? And someone just picked up the person and then they drove away. So I guess they're cheating on their wife or husband or whatever. You know, typical. Whole lot, son. 1,000 parking spaces. Governor Tim Walz. Thank God we have video, because according to DHS, these 7 heroic guys took an onslaught of a battalion against them or something. It's nonsense, people. It's nonsense and it's lies. Yeah, we can see the tape. We know it's lies. We don't need anyone to tell us. Ron Filipkowski again. Presumably, Democratic senators previously inclined to vote to fund more of this. When it hits the floor, understand that no one will accept your justification, no matter how well your comms person is at writing statements. This is for every Democrat that votes for ICE funding. You will be despised for the rest of this short experiment called Earth. You will be in the pile with the rest of the traitors and murderers. You will be putting your name on it. I don't care what compromat they got on you. I don't care what threats against your fucking family. You will goddamn burn. And everyone will hate you. Just like they hate the Gestapo, son. So every liberal senator about to vote on this because they got pictures of you cheating on your wife or husband or something, or God knows what, you best think twice, son. This decision will change the rest of your life. You will be despised. Just like Ron's saying. He says it so eloquently, too. Don't matter what bullshit PR statement you put out afterwards. Your name goes on the same list with all the traitors. All the murderers. Think twice. In Canada, you can film law enforcement without being executed. Are you guys taking refugees? Asking for about 100 million people that aren't in a cult. We're being held hostage by the Reich right now. Gestapo and mass, running around just murdering U.S. citizens, macing babies, kidnapping 5-year-olds. Then we get like a little hobbit Nazi that tries to justify it all, and he has to run away after 2 minutes. So if Canada's taking refugees, where do I sign, son? So I can get out of this goddamn nightmare. Let the rubes have this fucking shit. Let them get shot in the fucking face. I'd rather not. Greatest country in the world, right, assholes? Scoop: Netanyahu rejects White House request for Israel president to attend Board of Peace. They wanted the Herzog guy from Israel. Donnie wanted him there for the Board of Peace introduction the other day at the World Economic Forum. Israel said, fuck you. They are mad about this. I told you, Bibi. I know you think you know better and you're very powerful and all that. But you're not. And you don't. Donnie owns your shit now. Israel, Palestine, all of it, the Middle East, all of it. Donnie runs it now. I know you thought you could keep a leash on him. You thought you could control him with the compromat. I know. Donnie has his own agenda. Does not include you. Because he's a Nazi. Even if he wasn't, it still wouldn't include you. Israel is so mad about what Donnie just pulled with that Board of Peace and the $1 billion apiece and letting all of their enemies in to sit on the board. They didn't even show up. What does that tell us, class? That tells us the leash is starting to fray. It tells us that this is a beast. And he's not controllable. And he has his own motherfucking agenda. And that agenda is global grift. Whether Bibi likes it, Israel likes it, irrelevant. Bibi's starting to learn, I can't control this fucking thing. It's starting to get out of his hands already. I told all of you, Donnie, Adolf Hitler, people like that, they just want their foot in the door. They will say whatever they got to say, make any promise, shake whatever hand, tell whatever lie. They just want their foot in the door. Bibi, you let the wolf's foot in the door. Now he runs your shit. Forever. Because forever ain't that long. They thought they could leash it. Read Revelation. You'll understand you cannot leash that thing. Read a history book with Adolf Hitler. There was a lot of oligarchs, big, powerful people that, I told you the stories that I know took place. In bathhouses, in coffee shops, in little bars and mansions, where a few rich guys were sitting around saying, I got that Adolf guy in my pocket. It's great. Does whatever I want. AOC. Americans are being killed in the street by their government. Our Constitution is being shredded. Our rights are dissolving. Resist. Senate Dems should block ICE funding this week. Activate the National Guard. We can and must stop this. I agree totally. It already passed the House, so that's over. The Senate's our last hope. And I don't have much faith in them. I think Chuck Schumer said he won't even let it get a vote if the ICE funding is part of it, but I don't even know if he has the power to do that. So I love what she's saying. I love her appeal to the Senate, but I can't see them saying no to Donnie for his favorite mass police force, because without them, the Reich doesn't work. So Donnie going to make the right threats, twist the right arms, hold the right compromat over the right people's heads, and you'll get the 10 Democrats, and they'll vote for it, and it'll pass. That's my expectation. Stephen King, the writer. Alex Preddy was murdered. Yep. The New York Post, breaking news, Minneapolis videos contradict federal officials' account of killing. I remember this same headline for the Miss Good murder. The video doesn't match what the Reich is saying, because the Reich are fucking purely of Satan. They lie about their grandma. George Conway, remove them, defund them, abolish them, prosecute them. Yep. That agency needs to be gone, and the people need to be prosecuted, and we need to forget about this. That's what would happen in a just world, but that won't happen. I agree 100%. They're talking about when Bovino takes only 2 questions, and then an aide abruptly shuts down his news conference. Yep, I could tell Bovino wasn't expecting that. I saw the look on his face. He didn't understand. It was just that bad, man. And I have a feeling as he was speaking, the footage was coming out and contradicting everything he was saying. So they probably said, get Bovino out of there. We need to come up with a new story. That's probably what happened. They know they fucked up. This is panic. Yep. They fucked up when they shot Miss Good, too. It was the same thing. The only difference is you couldn't see because the car was blocking Fat Fuck Johnny actually murdering the person. This one you could see. Let me take another break. I'll be right back. All right. One of these nights I may fall asleep right on camera. DHS leadership is panicking now that the damning video has been released from the angle of the lady in pink. Every right-wing influencer Timcast just posted, even right-wing influencer Timcast just posted, Trump isn't winning this one. Is Timcast Tim Pool or that other guy? I'm not sure. The one guy that wears like the puka shells and shit, like he's that type of dude. I've never listened to him once. He's all over the internet though. I didn't think he was right-wing though, so he must be talking about Tim Pool, I assume. And again, this execution is no different than the last one. I don't agree that like this one's worse or something. No, they were both straight up executions by cunts who have the mentality, just like so many of you out there, that it's okay to shoot people I don't like. That's why Donnie recruited them. That's why they're deployed. Because there's those type of people. That thinking and those actions will end you in one place. The lake. Guaranteed. I'm sorry, I don't remember Jesus preaching that you have the right to go around and kill whoever you don't like. I don't remember him preaching that. But you people never cared what Jesus preached, let's be honest. Why am I wasting my time? The most horrifying part of the video is how one-sided and quick the escalation is. 4 or 5 different agents shove a woman, pepper spray Alex, throw him to the ground, take his gun, then fire into his motionless body. He wasn't trying to retaliate, just cold-blooded murder. Yep. Do you think that was an accident? Do you think they didn't want to do that to you people on a mass scale? Did you think they didn't want you people to see it on a mass scale? No, it was the point. Okay, so they got desperate. They got worried. Both, you know, the midget Nazi, Hobbit Nazi wasn't very effective. They had to pull his midget ass real quick. So they sent out the pock-faced anorexic hag. Let's see how well she does. She always does great. Question, did he brandish a gun? This individual showed up to impede a law enforcement operation. No, he didn't. He was just filming. And assaulted our officers. No, he didn't. The officers assaulted him. I don't know of any peaceful protester that shows up with a gun and ammunition rather than a sign. Kyle Rittenhouse, your hero. All of a sudden, Second Amendment ain't no good anymore, you cunts. That's what I mean about you people. You make arguments of convenience. You throw your beliefs in the gutter without hesitation, which means you stand for nothing, which means you're malleable, which is why you're okay with a dictator, why you're okay with shooting people you don't like, why you're okay with Satan. This is a violent riot when you have someone showing up with weapons. Well, Kyle Rittenhouse wasn't a violent rioter. Right, Rubes? Right, pock-faced hag? Kyle Rittenhouse is a murderer. Kristi Noem's a murderer. Bovino's a murderer. Donald Trump is a murderer. Hag Seth is a murderer. Stephen Miller is a murderer. Gestapo mass cunts are murderers. That's simple. Mr. Charles is a murderer. They all have blood on their hands. They all directly in line. They all made it happen. Without them, it don't happen. Without their assault on a city, it don't happen. Miss Good is living her life. This man is living his life. Thanks to you, cunts. And you know who I'm talking to. They're dead. Fuck you forever for that. And it's why I hate you. And I mean that sincerely. Again, the pock-faced hag. An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm. No, he didn't. He had it holstered. You people walk around with guns all the time. The way she presents it as if he had it drawn and pointed at them. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Really? Looked like a bunch of guys held him down. He couldn't do shit. Took his gun and you killed him. That's what it looks like to me. This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at the scene to inflict maximum damage and kill law enforcement. Really? Just because he had a gun on him? That's the argument now. If you're carrying a gun, that means you must want to kill a lot of people, right? So many of you rubes walk around with guns. Can I make the same assessment about you? Will the pock-faced puppy killer make the same assessment about you? Oh, no. No. That assessment is reserved for people her Gestapo murder, the people that she deploys, therefore the blood is on her hands as well. And the man will not forget, no matter how much spackle you put in them craters, honey. Can't hide what you are. Not from the man. All your little propaganda moments here. I have a feeling you're going to be listening to those right before you go in the lake. Ron Filikowski. Not a paid protester, not an Antifa battalion commander, not bussed in from out of state, a registered nurse at the VA who broke no laws and cared about humanity, murdered by the Trump administration. Miss Good, murdered by the Trump administration as well. We all watched it on tape. Public executions. Oh, you know what? I wanted to say something, and I'm glad it just occurred to me again. You people that are going out and protesting. Goddamn party right where I am. Got kids, fucking trucks, cars. Again, whole empty parking lot. I got the cunt posse, though. You people that are out there protesting. You people that are out there filming. You people that are getting in ISIS's face, telling them they're murderers, telling her this, that. You people yelling. You people blowing whistles. You people keeping an eye on the community. People like Miss Good and this man that was killed today. All of you out there in the face of this. I want to just say I commend all of you and I have the utmost respect for you. And you are very brave. You're really risking your ass. Just protesting, just getting out there, just blowing a whistle, just filming, just being in your car driving by filming, telling them they can't come in your business. All of you people doing those things because you risk getting murdered by those people when you do those things. Simple as filming, that's all that man was doing. That just got murdered today. Miss Good said, "I'm not mad at you." Those were her last words. Little did she know, fat fuck Johnny had already intended to kill her. She wasn't having an honest interaction with a human being. She was having an interaction with a demon destined for the lake who had already planned on killing her. So you people out there doing that man, his last action on this earth was helping a woman up that a bunch of mass cunts destined to burn hot, son, and I mean fucking hot, pushed to the ground. Miss Good's last action was, "I ain't mad at you." You people out there doing all these things, you have so much courage. This isn't an era where people risk anything for anyone, son. And I am amazed at what I'm seeing. And some of you are dying for it. And you will be rewarded. I'm just so impressed with all you people out there. It takes real balls to do what you're doing. And again, some of you, it's costing your freedom, costing you your life. You're facing names, being put on a list. I am just so impressed with your bravery, all of you. Because the cops ain't doing a goddamn thing. Our government ain't doing a goddamn thing. I'm talking about state government. And it's just down to the citizens, man. And you citizens are coming out against guys in full gear and fucking machine guns with instructions to hurt you. You people, again, you have the most courage. You're fighting the war, literally, physically. You're out there on the front fucking lines, and some of you are dying for it. That is so impressive to me. It's sad that you have to. But these are the times we're in, thanks to cunt rubes that will burn with their antichrist and their antichrist. I just want to say I salute you all. I commend you. And your bravery is not unnoticed. Thank you. Because the tough guys with guns that could stop this, they ain't stopping shit. They too scared to. But you're not. And you're unarmed. Even that man with the gun was unarmed. He didn't draw it. I salute you. Thank you for your service. The man will not forget. This is AOC again on CNN. How rich is it that she is saying showing up to the scene of a protest with a legally owned weapon should be grounds for a person's death, execution at the hands of the state by the same party and administration that praises Kyle Rittenhouse? Exactly. Every human knows Kyle went there with the intent to kill people. Everyone knows that. This man with the sidearm did not go there with the intent to kill people. He didn't even pull the motherfucker. And everyone knows that too. And that's a brilliant point AOC makes here. And it proves once again how you people never believed in a goddamn thing. Pity. Back to the pock-faced hag. If this is a question, if these are targeted arrests, why are these immigration agents going after civilian protesters out of their way? This individual attacked law enforcement officers. These agents took action to defend their lives, all 9 of them. I added that last part. Their lives were never in danger. The only person that was in danger is the one that's no longer living right now. Further evidence of that is they just shot a woman in the face. How many weeks ago? And we all watched that on TV too. What a fucking joke this is. Again, the pock-faced fucking hag. Are you working with local law enforcement on the investigation? Who would trust Governor Walz at this point? The man has stood up and encouraged resistance. He's sacrificed his citizens' safety. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God, it just... encouraged resistance. You mean to the masked guys with machine guns going door to door and kidnapping people and murdering people and macing babies and kidnapping 5-year-olds? That's a short list. That's what's good in MAGA world now. Mass police force terrorizing entire communities. That's the gospel of MAGA now. And it's okay to murder people if we don't like them. That's the gospel of MAGA. And that's why you'll all burn. Lest you turn away. You still have a little bit of time. Not much, though. Good luck, son. Don't follow your pock-faced hag into the abyss. Some advice. But I know you know better. Ted Lieu, recognize. This video shows civilian Alex Preddy never brandished a gun. He was helping a person that a Border Patrol agent shoved to the ground. Believe your eyes. Yep. Yep. This is the mayor, Jacob Frey. I formally requested National Guard assistance to support our 600 police officers. I've been clear for weeks. This situation is unsustainable. Our community is tired. Our officers are tired. Our businesses are tired. Our top priority is safety, and this will help. Can you believe, son, we're at the point where state government's got to call in the National Guard because the federal government is attacking their city and murdering people. I hate you. And you know I'm talking to. The Trump regime's current position is that if somebody legally owns a gun, that alone is enough for the government to murder him or her. Well, if they're at a protest, yeah. Yeah. Pete Hegseth, who is from Minnesota, dismisses peaceful protesters as lunatics and adds ICE is greater than Minnesota. Secretary of War, Defense, whatever you want to call it, high-ranking cabinet member, is saying the masked police force that's murdering people is greater than the state of Minneapolis or Minnesota, I guess with MN, right? The Secretary of War or Defense is supposed to be on the side of Minnesota because it's an American state. Did you notice that, Rubes? I know. You fucking $3 hillbillies that think you know anything. And it don't matter if you don't actually live in a rural area, you're still a hillbilly. Fucking idiot. That knows nothing. Less than nothing. The federal government is supposed to represent all the states, and they're supposed to be on our side. There's not supposed to be a mass police force kidnapping and murdering people. And the government shouldn't be advocating that. And here's what I really wanted to tell you. I know in your dumb, worthless hillbilly mind, you think the entire state of Minnesota is all liberal libtards. Because that's what the Reich's telling you. It's not. Minnesota does pay your welfare bill, though. Because your state don't make no goddamn money. Oh, what did Pete write? Did I read the whole thing? Thank God for the patriots of ICE. We have your back 100%. You are saving the country. Shame on the leadership in Minnesota and the lunatics in the street. ICE is greater than Minnesota. Celebrating the murder. Disparaging the locality where his people perpetrated the murder. Saying the mass police force is greater than the state of Minnesota. I hate you. I truly do. That's a satanic as fuck gospel if I ever heard one. And Pete of Satan, and so is you, son, if you down. I suggest you don't be down. But I know, son. You know better. I know. I see y'all out there. I know. You all know better. I'm just a dumb guy in sunglasses. I know. And he's watching this all play out with the same glee he had on Jan 6. Believe that. Yep. This was the point. This is what I've been trying to tell you for 10 years, and especially right before the election and right after. That you little children didn't know how dark this was going to get. I knew there's going to be public executions 10 years ago. That's why I was yelling 10 years ago. And yes, Donnie's loving every minute. This is exactly what he's looking for. Donnie's the Antichrist. Donnie's purely of Satan. Donnie loves violence and murder. He doesn't love doing it himself. He doesn't have the balls for that. He likes having other people do it. Like you J6 idiots that all went to jail. And the one idiot that lost her life for a con man. That's what Donnie loves. Watching you morons sell your soul and do the dirty work for him. And boy, do you. That's why you're going to burn, son, with your antichrist right next to him. This is Rep. Jimmy Gomez. Minnesota state officials had a signed warrant from an independent judge to investigate the shooting. DHS denied them access to the scene and said they would investigate themselves. This is unconstitutional, and any conclusion DHS comes to can't be trusted. Yeah, I mean, they did murder the person, so yeah, we can't trust their judgment. And they've been defaming the guy all day. The family of this man, you should really sue the government, like, immediately. Go get a lawyer. He'll take a percentage. He'll do it for free. You need to go sue immediately. And just quote the pock-faced hag, quote Stephen the Ghoul, quote Donnie Shitbags. He wrote a whole thesis. Slam dunk. You'll get millions. I know that won't help you with the loss of your son, but at least you won't have to worry about the bills. Someone got to teach these cunts a lesson about calling people assassins 5 seconds before their body's fucking cold. After the people they sent out there literally and instructed them to murder people. Murdered them. Someone needs to get in court on that. You're definitely the right people to do it. Slam dunk case. This only happened because DOJ let them get away with Renee Good. Yep, I told you, precedent set. The go-ahead's been given. And we've seen the evidence of that today. Those people did not care that they were on camera. They intended on executing that guy. And they did it. And then they high-fived afterwards. That tells me they were given instructions to do those very things. Because the terror is the point. They're trying to subjugate you, son. They want you to be afraid to critique, protest, anything. This is Mary Trump. Governor Tim Walz has deployed the Minnesota National Guard to protect the United States citizens from the federal government. This is Donald Trump's America. Yeah, literally, yeah. Yeah. Family members saying that. As insane as this sounds, it's true. Pam Bondi sent Minnesota officials a letter today saying ICE would leave the state if Minnesota turns over its voter files to the Trump administration. So what's that tell us, class? The letter's right here. No, I'm not reading it. Read it for yourself. What does this tell us? The voter information is paramount if they're willing to pull the Gestapo out for it. What does that also tell us? I just talked again yesterday or the day before about them making lists. They love to make lists, baby. They got all the federal information and lists they need for that. What they really want is state voter rolls in that list. Then they can target you based on political preference, because they're trying to walk a fine line here with their subjugation and targeting, because they know their cult rube cunts that have their name on this will be fine with it. And they need to string you fucking dumb hillbillies along long enough so they can take your guns later. They need you to stay home and leave the gun on the shelf, though, because it's only liberals getting targeted right now, and that's what you were looking for anyway, and they know that. That's why they're doing it that way. So they want to get the voter rolls, obviously, from every state. This is the proof right here. This tells me all I need to know, baby. I was so glad when I saw this. They literally want the voter rolls so they can target us based on political preference because they don't want to offend the rubes too much. They want to focus on the liberals till they go real full Reich and just take the guns from everybody. You get how that works? You string along the evil people so you don't have the whole country rising up at once against you. You string those moron rubes along until you go full Reich and you just persecute one side of it. And then when you make your move, the rubes, they've come too far. They can't go back. They can't fight. And you take the guns. That's what's happening. That's what's going to happen. And this tells me the voter rolls, the information about me and you at the state level on who we vote for, what we stand for, they want that so they can target specifically the opposing political party. This is a huge piece of evidence on where this is going. We're at the give us your voter data that will help us manipulate elections in your swing state or will continue to kill your citizens and terrorize your community's phase of fascism. This is a threat and extortion. No, again, what you people don't understand, it ain't just to rig elections. They're going to be roundups. They're going to be mass murders. They're going to be mass executions. They're going to be all that great stuff. And that's going to be aimed at the people on the voter rolls that they don't like. And the rubes and the cult members will be perfectly fine with it. That's what they want it for. Same way Hitler wanted to know who the liberals were in his country. He needed to get rid of those people. They were a stumbling block. They're the crazy kind of people, you know, that protest when mass cunts with machine guns come and murder and kidnap people in their community. You get rid of them, the rubes are already bent over with the gun in the chest because they like what's going on. It's been preached to them by the right-wing machine since 1945. And boy, did they eat it up. They love it. Got dummies in their backyards and shit. Let's say like Nancy Pelosi on them and shit. It's real stable, you know, real stable mental stuff. It's not of Satan at all. They want those lists bad. They're willing to pull the Gestapo out for it. That tells me that information is very important to them. George Conway wrote a thing. The deadly shooting in Minneapolis today was a straight-up execution of a protester by Trump's federal brown shirts. That guy's a lawyer, and he's got a lot to lose, and he's saying that. The thugs wrestled him to the ground. They pistol whipped him. They shot him multiple times. They murdered him. Again, that's George Conway, who used to be a Republican, who's a lawyer, giving that description. The videos don't lie. A man is dead, killed in cold blood. There's no justification for this intentional homicide. Make no mistake, that intentional and justified homicide was committed on behalf of Donald J. Trump. Trump's militarization of Minneapolis and other parts of our nation isn't about illegal immigration. It's not about enhancing public safety. It's about destroying any sense of that safety to intimidate political opponents and to punish dissent. It's about a corrupt, out-of-control regime's effort to provoke citizens in order to justify the violence it desires to commit against them so that it can expand and retain its power. That is fascism, it is tyranny, it is governmental criminality. And the ultimate legal check the framers of our Constitution provided to stop this kind of tyranny and criminality in the executive branch is impeachment and removal of the executive. Congress needs to do its job now before it's too late. It was too late, Jan 20. And again, people like Conway and other people, they can think this ever has a chance. Appealing to the spineless Republicans that have been sucking Donnie's taint for 10 years. even after he staged a coup. They're never turning on him. And if they ever decide to, 2 years from now, there'll already be nuclear fallout over half of America. In other words, it'll be too fucking late when they finally get so desperate and scared, they make some type of stand. It's already too late. They will never impeach him. We've seen 2 public executions of U.S. citizens. They've done nothing. They never will do anything. Don't ever. Great piece of writing. I know he thinks this is a moment where some of them might listen. It isn't. That's not what this is. You don't understand what kind of thing this is. A kind of thing where the people in the cult, the Republicans in government, they could be standing in gasoline knee deep with Donnie holding a match, a lit match, and he about to drop that in that knee deep gasoline that all the cult members and the Republicans in government are standing in. And if the public said to the cult and the Republican cult government members, all you have to do is say, ask us to get rid of them. All you have to do is go along with us. And he's gone. And then he can't drop that match. And you don't burn to death. You know what they would say? That's okay. We're going to stick with him. That's what you're dealing with. People that will ride this all the way to the goddamn fire. This is actual testimony from a witness submitted to court. Imagine this in trial. Devastating first-hand witness to Alex Preddy's killing. Declaration filed in federal court. Here's a quote. I don't know why they shot him. He was only helping. I was 5 feet from him and they just shot him. Yeah, we know. We saw the tape. This is a statement from the family since the Reich decided to fucking slander the shit and defame the shit out of their son that they fucking murdered. And you know what? Before I read this, I'm going to take another break. I'm tired, people. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. Okay, a statement from Mr. Preddy's parents. Statement from Michael and Susan Preddy, parents of Alex Jeffrey Preddy. We are heartbroken but also very angry. Alex was a kind-hearted soul who cared deeply for his family and friends and also the American veterans whom he cared for as an ICU nurse at the Minneapolis VA hospital. Alex wanted to make a difference in this world. Unfortunately, he will not be with us to see his impact. I do not throw around the word hero, I do not throw around the hero term lightly. However, his last thought and act was to protect a woman. The sickening lies told about our son by the administration are reprehensible and disgusting. Alex is clearly not holding a gun when attacked by Trump's murdering and cowardly ICE thugs. He had his phone in his right hand and his empty left hand is raised above his head while trying to protect the woman ICE just pushed down, all while being pepper sprayed. Please get the truth out about our son. He was a good man, thank you, and we know he was a good man by his last act, just like they said. That's the evidence, despite all the goddamn fucking noise by worthless partisan hacks, the worthless fucking Reich that's gonna burn, every cunt that supports him, every troll and bot sent by some cunt who's gonna burn. You think you're not responsible when you send trolls and bots? Oh, son, you might as well be saying it yourself. The man knows who sent him. You can't hide behind a PR firm when you're standing in front of the man. Son, the suit and tie ain't gonna save you. As shiny as it is, you'll be standing there naked, actually. That's the description. You little children don't know how it works. Let me break it down quickly, and then I'll get back to this. The more sinful your nature is at the moment of your death, the less covering you will have in the afterlife. During your judgment, some of you'll be standing there stark fucking naked. I have a feeling all you people that are members of the cult that have your name on the Reich, the Reich themselves, the man or woman who sends the bots, I have a feeling you'll be standing there naked. It'll be quite embarrassing right before you go in the lake. Back to this. One more thing. The only reason any of us will be robed is because of Jesus Christ. That's it. None of us are worthy. He is the only reason why some of us will be clothed and robed. Because we have accepted him. That don't mean you're a good person just because you accept him. You still got to try. You can't just say, I accepted Jesus Christ, now I'm free. I can do whatever I want. Nope. But he is the only reason that any of us will be robed in the afterlife. That's how it works. Back to this. We know your son was a good man by his final act. You didn't need to say it. We all saw it. On tape. His last act was to help a woman that a bunch of masked cunts pushed to the ground because they big tough guys. And then tried to protect her as the men were trying to beat him and her and pepper spray and all that. And he did not draw his sword. What does it say in Scripture? He who lives by it, he who draws it, dies by it. He did not. He went to his cross willingly and did not draw his sword, even though he had it right on his hip. His last act was trying to protect a woman, just like they said. Strange woman he didn't even know. Not his girlfriend, not his wife. We know he was a good person, even without his parents saying it. And I agree with his parents that he's a hero. He truly is. And he will be remembered, and he will be rewarded, and he is in heaven right now. I know that to the core of me. Miss Good, the last words out of her mouth, I'm not mad at you. As her murderer approached, planning to murder her. She's another hero. And she's another martyr. And just like Mr. Preddy, she was utterly in cold blood murdered on the street in front of us all. Just like Mr. Preddy, the Reich immediately lied about her, told whatever lie they could think of. The Reich thinks nothing, son. Do you hear me? This was prophesied, son. The Reich thinks nothing of blaspheming the dead. They do it 9 times by lunch. And there's a piece of scripture again. It goes something like, he will blaspheme those in heaven. He'll blaspheme God, his tabernacle, and those in heaven. God's tabernacle is where God dwells. How many times has Donnie blasphemed the dead, my God? How many times have members of the Reich blasphemed the dead that they murdered themselves? Shit, Donnie's comment about, I mean, there's so many ways if you sit and think about it. Donnie's comment about the European troops, that they didn't do nothing in Afghanistan. Meanwhile, we got pictures of fucking coffins coming back to those countries. That's blaspheming the dead as well. The Reich thinks nothing of it. For their master, the antichrist, thinks nothing of it. And honestly, Miss Good's family should sue. I think they got a bunch of money from a GoFundMe, so I don't think they're interested in suing. They still should do it just for fun. And this family should my God. And, you know, I don't know what Miss Good's beliefs were or Mr. Preddy's beliefs. But I do know this, God is impressed with both of them right now. And I know what a lot of you out there would say, but you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, she was a lesbian, blah, blah, blah. Let's do a hypothetical. There's a God. He's got 2 people before him to assess. One is a lesbian. The other is a MAGA cult member who preaches Satan, who preaches murder, who defends murder. Who has their name on the antichrist, who is destined for the lake, who is called an animal by God. Which would God choose? I'll let you decide. I already know the answer. One way to figure that question out is which one of those two would be more likely to take the mark? Wow, Grok was undressing minors for weeks, but the Minnesota shooting video gets flagged within an hour. Yep. I posted a lot of different angles of that shooting video today. I noticed sometimes I check the links to see if they work, or I put the right link, because I'm doing about 90 links a day, to make sure I'm sending you to the right clip. Many of the videos, when I would hit the link, it would say, this may be adult content, and it wouldn't let you just view it publicly. You would have to log into your own Twitter account and find it yourself and watch it that way. So the link was worthless. This happened multiple times. I knew exactly right away what was going on, because there's some fucked up shit on Twitter. And Miss Good's videos, all those worked fine. But you don't see Miss Good get killed, because the car is blocking her, the car that she's in. You can't see inside where she is. So they let that all slide. But this one, you can see everything. So Leon intentionally suppressed it and made it harder to find and view. This guy proves it right here. Grok was undressing minors for weeks, but the Minnesota shooting video gets flagged within the hour. Yep. Leon don't want you seeing that. That makes the Reich look bad. People might wake up, and they can't have that. Are we at the end? All right. Another declaration you have to read. Alex Preddy was shot near the apartment of a doctor who saw the shooting occur, rushed to provide emergency aid as he lay dying on the street. They describe what they saw. This is a quote. The victim had at least 3 bullet holes in his back. Shot him in the back. Three times. After they took the gun away. Shot him anywhere 5 to 10 times. You are at the point where American citizens are being executed on the street, on camera, and it's being celebrated, and the murderers are whisked away to safety, and the phrase absolute immunity is yelled. America is over forever. And I'll say the same thing Ron Filipkowski said. If you defend this in any way, you are human garbage. I don't care what talking point you throw at me. I won't even listen to it. I've listened to too many people make the devil's argument. I no longer tolerate the devil's argument. Because when one makes the devil's argument, all they are doing is filibustering and wasting someone's goddamn time. Instead of just admitting they're a scumbag and moving on. I'd respect you more if you did. Do that. So I do not entertain the devil's arguments. I do not debate. I stopped that a long time ago. I don't care if it's my brother making the devil's argument, my girlfriend, my mother, my friend, someone I don't know, a troll online, a bot. I don't give a fuck who it is. We are at the point where that is no longer acceptable. And we are way past the point of tolerating filibustering for partisan hackery, for people that are dead before they were born, destined for the lake. So if you're defending this in any way, if you're making the antichrist argument, the devil's argument, I want nothing to do with you. And I have no time for it. For your destiny is the lake. That's simple, whether you understand what you're doing or not. Meaningless. So if you defend this man's execution on the street by mass cunts destined for the lake, you're human garbage. And don't take the mark. Because once you do that, God will view you as literal garbage and throw you where the garbage goes, in the lake. That's after you suffer a whole fuckload of plagues and horror. Have a wonderful evening.